Hi, I'm Dennis Gage. Thanks for tuning into My Classic Car, home of the certified car nut. Well, this week I'm in Grand Forks, North Dakota to check out a couple of the slickest show cars you'll ever see. And these cars are owned by Wes Ridler, and they were designed by Chip Foose. But a lot of the fabrication was done right in Wes's toy shop here in Grand Forks by Doug Peterson and his merry band. I gotta tell you, I think these are some of the most gorgeous cars I've ever seen. And if I had to bet, I'd guess you'll think so too. Well, Doug, what a beautiful day in Grand Forks. Is it always this way in North Dakota?
It's a little colder in the winter.
Sometimes a little bit colder.
Yeah.
Well, what a great day to have a couple great cars out. Now, these are a couple from Wes Ridler's collection, and they're both
Right.
Chip Foose cars, right?
Yes.
Well, we've got the Grand Master, and we got the Cool Air, two fabulous faves of mine. But let's talk about the Grand Master first. Now, I first saw this car at a show called Eyes on Design at the GM Tech Center 6 years ago or something like that.
Right.
And all those cars, those beautiful concept cars in the 50s and all that, Duesenbergs and all sorts of wild high-end cars. I walked by this car and I stopped cold. It's just drop dead gorgeous. I love it. And Chip happened to be there, and I chatted with him a bit then, but I always wanted to do a more up-close look at this car. It's a 35 Chevy Master Deluxe, right?
Yes.
That was not really the prettiest car Chev ever made.
No, we called it the Toad.
Appropriately so. Well, I was noticing this sort of dishes in, curves in a little bit.
Right, on a stock 35 Master, that would have been a straight line from the cowl to the grill shell, and we just wanted to keep the shape a little
Kinda
more
get this
flowing.
flow. And the grill, I mean, that looks sort of like a 35, but it's obviously been fairly heavily modified.
Yes, the grill shell's been thinned up quite a lot and also leaned back.
Wow. Headlight buckets?
1939 Chevrolet, shortened about 3.5 inches with a King Bee trim ring and lamp assembly.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Well, and the fenders look like they've been set out a bit, or?
We actually used roughly the outside half of the fender, and because the grill was moved back and laid back, we had to change most of the inside of it to blend into the grill shell properly again.
And it's all metal.
It's all steel.
But the back is what I think is probably the most beautiful part of this car. And it's not all that different than a 35 Master Deluxe, but you've really made it work somehow.
Yeah, the original car, this whole back panel was much more vertical, and by leaning it forward, it created a softer roof line here that it just helps the whole car flow a little better.
And how about the taillights?
Again, 39 Chevrolet.
Chip's also known for very clean interiors, and I think this is a gorgeous interior, all around. And one of the things I like about it is how it flows all the way from the dash around to the side, around to the back, and all. I mean, completely around. It's just one. It's like it's one feel. It's like it's one piece. It looks like you shrunk a Chev steering wheel.
Exactly, 55 Bel Air wheel. Reduced in diameter about 3 inches.
And then with the orange pinstriping and then a little bit of black detail setting that off. It's just, I mean, it's just fabulous. I love it. Now, Chip's known for equally understated engine compartments. What's she look like? Again, just incredibly clean. What's hiding under there?
It's a 96 Corvette LT4 Grand Sport engine.
Again, the grand theme, right?
Right. 4L60E automatic transmission and Corvette-based independent rear suspension.
And you've got the two-tone inside, and you've got the orange pinstripe. Is this fiberglass, or is this all metal?
It's all steel.
Oh, man.
This is actually a duct or plenum that wraps around the side of the radiator and brings fresh air to the engine.
On each side, they just come up and...
Yes, and the air filter's inside that.
I like the cap there.
Little access for the
isn't that
radiator
nice?
cap.
Wow. Now, Ridler Award Winning car, fabulous show car, but Chip's cars really typically do run.
This one runs
This
great.
one runs great. And does Wes drive them at all?
You bet.
you think Wes would mind if we took it out?
Let's go for a ride.
How about if I drove?
Absolutely.
All right, close her up, let's go.
Okay.
Contact. Ooh. Wow. Well, this baby drives awfully nice.
We actually built it as if it was going to be a car that you could hop in and drive across country. We haven't really done that, but
it's capable of it.
I really think it is. Even the name of the car, we asked Chip, what are we going to call it? And he thought for a moment and he said, how about the Grand Master? We said, great, but how did you come up with that? And he said, well, it's a Master Series Chevrolet. You guys are from Grand Forks.
Oh.
Let's call it the Grand Master.
Oh, I didn't know that. That makes perfect sense. I thought it was just such a Grand Master, but it's Master Deluxe from Grand Forks. I love
Exactly.
it. Is it a 700 R4 transmission or?
4L60E, so the electronic
Of course.
version of that same thing.
What was I thinking?
This was the only body style Chevrolet ever did, by the way, that had suicide hinge doors. The only year and the only body style that they did that on.
Oh, so it came this way. You guys didn't suicide these doors. They opened this way.
They originally were a
Really?
suicide hinge, yes.
Wow.
We went to a Good Guys car show event out at Charlotte last fall. As part of the event, you could get the cars out on the track and make some laps around Lowe's Motor Speedway. That was really great fun.
With this car?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet that was. So when you had it out on the track, how did she handle?
It felt great. I was actually driving. I was up in the high line, up where Junior usually runs.
That had to be a kick. And this had to be the slickest looking car out there.
It really does look amazing when it's moving. The car isn't really a car, I guess, until you actually see it moving. Otherwise, it's just a piece of art.
Welcome back to My Classic Car. Well, Doug, the Grand Master is, in fact, fairly grand, isn't it?
It is.
But let's talk about this cool Air. Another great Chip Foose, Wes Rydell, Doug Peterson collaboration here. 54 Chevy Bel Air. Another, not really the prettiest car ever built.
Right. The Tri-5's got a lot more attention.
They really did. But you guys have chosen to make this one live again and live beautifully. Done some work here too. But it seems very subtle, even more subtle than the transformation of the Grand Master. It still looks fairly 54, but not. What all have you done?
A lot of subtle changes. The 55 headlight eyebrows, we felt lengthened the fenders. The front bumper is from a 56. The hood has been pie cut, lowered probably about an inch in the front, just to take some of the pudginess out of the nose of the car.
You know, that's what I would call these cars. They were kind of just pudgy. I love the wheels too, and when I first saw those, I thought, oh, are those billet? And I said, no, I see some Allen heads there. They must be hubcaps.
They actually are billet. The Allen heads hold a small hubcap on in the center that gives you access to the lug nuts, but they're a billet wheel that's designed to look like the 54 Bel Air hubcap.
Interior's gorgeous. Again, subtle, and copper and cream coming through once again.
Right.
Now, is that a 55 dash?
It is. Yeah, I like the symmetry of the 55 dash, so I kind of proposed that idea to Chip. The 53, 54 dashes were not symmetrical at all, and I thought this just had a much neater feel to it.
And you know, I like the perforated leather. You don't see that used a heck of a lot, but that is a nice comfort feature.
It's a nice comfort feature and a kind of a nice design accent as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, how about the side trim, which is kind of 54 and again, kind of not?
We had to relocate the side trim because we raised the wheel openings in the car to accommodate the low ride height so that the wheels can turn without rubbing.
Now, how about back here? We've got what looks like 54 taillights.
They are 54 taillight lenses, Frenched into a sort of a mild custom type housing.
Little extension here.
Right. Then the chrome bezel was again created in brass with the little scallops in it to mimic the headlight trim rings.
Nice. The trunk, I can't believe you left the trunk alone.
No, we didn't put that on a diet as well. It's it's wedge cut and actually quite a bit of material removed through the the back portion of it, and the shape softened up.
It just really did. It smoothed the car out a heck of a lot. Now, I imagine we've done something wonderful under the hood.
Yes, indeed.
Wow. Well, once again, I can't see much, but I do see 427. Tell me about the engine.
Well, the engine is actually, we started with a 6-liter Chevrolet truck block, bored at about 40 thousandths, and put a 4 1/8-inch stroke crank in it. So it actually does displace 427 cubic inches, makes about 530 horsepower on the dyno.
Wow. And how about the cover this time? Is that steel again, or?
That's the only composite piece on this car, made by Tim Fitzpatrick out in Chip's shop. Everything else is steel.
This is neat, though. This is sort of a hood under the hood.
Exactly. It gives it a nice appearance when the hood is open. It's also functional in that all the air that comes through the grill opening has to go through the radiator. It can't bypass it, so we never have any cooling problems with this car.
Wow. So Doug, like the Grand Master, does this cool air do any road work?
It does. Actually, Wes and Vivian drove this car about 14,000 miles last summer.
That would be some road work. That'd be some serious road work, as a matter of fact. Do you suppose Wes would mind if we took it out and did some road work in it?
Hey, let's go for a ride.
And again, you mind if I...
No, that's all right.
All right, let's do it. Welcome back to My Classic Car. That fires right up, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
And away we go. You know, it is kind of funny though, because you get into this, it's 54, but it's 55, and your mind is set for that era though. And this steering wheel, I just feel like I'm supposed to be out here someplace. The steering wheel's so little.
Yeah, a lot more comfortable though, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
And you don't need all that leverage to crank it, because she's got power steering and undoubtedly rack and pinion.
Yeah, it's actually C5 Corvette front suspension and brakes, coilovers all around. It's an Art Morrison Max G chassis. So.
Now, have you ever, I mean, Wes has driven this 14,000 some odd miles. Have you ever had this thing on any sort of a track?
Yeah, actually, it's been around Lowe's Motor Speedway and Kansas Motor Speedway, and we haven't drag raced it yet, but I think that might happen this summer.
Oh my goodness.
We just ordered a set of drag radials for it, so.
You guys are nuts. Completely nuts. And it does drive like a real modern car.
We wanted this to be a very comfortable, drivable car, so we really put a lot of effort into the drivability when we were building it. So far, it's paid off.
Yeah, I can say. Man, she sounds so good. What do you have for an exhaust system on it?
We actually built the exhaust system. Actually, Wes and I built the headers. They're tri-wide long tube headers, and then we use Borla mufflers. So it's 3-inch back to the mufflers, and then 2.5 inches from the mufflers through the tailpipes.
I like the feel. Boy, you guys build nice cars.
Wow, thank you. It doesn't feel like a 54, does it?
Not at all. And you're right. It really does kind of feel like a Corvette. You could get in trouble with this car, you know?
Yes, you could.
You really could. Oh man, what a day we had up here in Grand Forks. You know, the only thing better than looking at Chip Foose cars is driving them. I gotta tell you, Chip designed some fabulous cars. Doug and his crew, they do a heck of a job in the build process. And Wes Rydell, he's kind enough to share them with us. What a guy. I sure hope he lets us come back.